What is a PWI? What is a HBCU? Well, PWI stands for predominantly white institution. Your Ivy League colleges, your very prestige colleges that are held to a high standard. HBCU stands for Historically Black College or University. Historically Black colleges and universities were founded and originally founded to educate and train African American students in the early years and to help them become better people and to be able to get into the job force. We've always had the argument, is a 4.0 at a HBCU versus a PWI equivalent? Can you compare the two? But no one has really tried to compare the environment and the atmospheres of a PWI and an HBCU. Transitioning from an HBCU like Mississippi Valley State University and coming to Arkansas State University, the biggest noticeable culture shock I would have to say would be Greek life. Just about every Greek letter organization at Mississippi Valley State University has a plot or some type of place where they can go and be their own. They have barbecue grills where they sit out and they cook and they have music and they invite people in. They let you eat and you get to know everybody. You mingle. You learn how to network in such an environment, and it's just like the school thrives off of its Greek life. But transitioning to Arkansas State was a total difference. Going from plots to these big Greek mansions was like crazy, because at MVSU it's like the Greeks are tangible, but coming to Arkansas State and seeing these Greek mansions, it's like the Greeks are isolated. The African American Greeks only have flags, and they're not even there to sit under their flags and let you know about their organizations or things of that nature. They're not tangible. You really don't know that people are Greek.
Well, let's start from the beginning. My transition here, it wasn't that rough for me because at the HBCU I came from, which is Mississippi Valley State University, they prepared me for this school. I told them that I wanted to go to a great graduate school program. So they started preparing me 2 years before I graduated. So when I got here, I was ready for the work. It's all about preparing yourself for the work here.
Facilities are also different between PWIs and HBCUs. PWIs have very upscale and beautiful architectures. Arkansas State's Union is amazing and beautiful. It's 3 stories. Everything a student would need is in the Union. It has 4 different food courts. The cafeteria is also in there. Financial aid, residential life, everything is in that Union. Whereas to Mississippi Valley State University, everything is scattered out. You have to go to various buildings to get things done and of that nature. But one thing that also differs in the Union is the hospitality factor. You walk in A State Union, you walk in, you walk out. That's the end of it. You do what you have to do. You go eat, you sit down alone, you get up alone, and you walk out. Mississippi Valley State University's Union, you go in, someone's going to speak. Someone's going to say, hey, how are you doing? How's your day going? Someone's going to give you that smile that you may need to uplift your day. And you're going to have a conversation in the Union. You walk in Mississippi Valley State University's Union, somebody's probably dancing. Somebody has music playing. Somebody's watching TV. There's a game room around the corner. Somebody's playing a game or something like that to engage you and interact you in other networking opportunities.
My transition has been, I guess, easier than most people who are of my race can say. And I think part of that reason is because of me coming from a high school that was predominantly white. And so I got a chance to kind of, mix in with that particular crowd of people. Actually, when I went to Valley, that was kind of a harder transition for me because I had to try to get adjusted to the culture of an HBCU. I know one significant thing that I had to do was when I was in the marching band, and that was difficult for me because I had to learn a new marching style, and so I was screamed at, I was hollered at because I wasn't marching right. But eventually, you do something, so many times you get used to it, and so. Coming here to Arkansas State, it was a bit of a culture shock for me because I know one thing was that at Valley, when you're walking around campus and all, you can speak to people and they'll speak to you back, more often. Here, it's not so much. It's like it's like you're in New York City or something. People just walking by and everything, and not really just caring just to carry a conversation with you. They just want to go to whatever their destination is, and so here you kind of have to make more of an effort to try to mix and mingle with people, and so. Another thing that was shocking when I came here was that I saw that was unique was that they have a gay straight alliance. Like it's an organization, and I know at Valley, there are gays and people of that nature that are there, but they don't have as much of a voice there. It's not out in the forefront as much. But here, they have an entire organization, and so because of that, it brings that diversity to the forefront. Another thing that was shocking to me is the Greek life on campus, and in particularly the Black Greeks on campus. Because at Valley, the Greek life is everything. It's a big part of the whole experience there, and like there's like if you're not Greek, it's if you're not Greek or in the band or in the choir or on the football team or in sports, it's kind of hard to really, make a name for yourself if you're not in one of those groups or cliques or whatever you want to call it. Here, the Black Greeks are not as prominent here. And, whereas on a Valley campus, you have these large plots that are, that represent their Black, the Black Greeks. Here, they just have flags, and so and along with that, when you compare that to what the predominantly white Greek organizations have, they have like these large houses that look like mansions. It looks like the house that you would get when you get your first mortgage.
Social media plays a big part in everything that we do in today's society, even our opinions on HBCUs and PWIs. What is yard life? Yard life is a term used by a lot of HBCU students. PWI students use it too, but HBCU students really live on the term yard life because it explains what happens outside of the classroom, what happens outside in front of the union, at the Greek plots, parties, barbecues, block parties that the school throws, campus events that go on outside. That's yard life. When you can go outside on a nice sunny day, hang out with your friend, water fights, things like that. That's yard life. the stuff that happens outside of the classroom?
Arkansas State's yard life per se is non-existent. Um, Everybody here is about business, which is it's an awesome thing. There's nothing wrong with being, ready for business or scholarly or any of that. It's just sometimes you gotta let your hair down to be more sociable. But here, that's non-existent. It's like they have programs ever so often. In the programs they have, the students come out and they just stand around like wallflowers. Whereas as opposed to the yard life at Valley, like we can go anywhere on campus and it's a group of people just there. We're talking and having a good time, laughing, joking, and when we have parties or events, the turnouts are bigger and it's better. Like the atmosphere is just better. I don't know if it's a I don't know, maybe this is just how we are in our culture in the HBCUs. But we like the party, but we graduate.
There is no comparison because at Valley, the yard, the yard, that's a capital T. The yard is turned at night. 9, 10, 11 o'clock. Oh, it's just getting started, and we'll at Valley we'll go until 2 or 3 o'clock and just having a good time and everything. And so, the yard, that's a very important part of the HBCU experience. Here is not it's not quite like that. It's like here, it almost seems like they have a curfew or something, like they have to be done by 9 o'clock and go to their studies or whatever, and of course I know the academics are very important, but it's also it's not as, I guess I'm not really satisfied with how the Greeks are here, the Black Greeks in particular, because I guess because when it comes to Black Greeks at Valley, Black Greeks is a part of the Black culture, in general. So that's why it's very important. But here, at a PWI, it's not. I guess it kind of makes sense why it's not as prominent. But I still feel like even when the Black Greeks here at ASU have events that that they host or whatever, they should be be willing to to be more enthusiastic and lively or whatever and everything, because how many events do they get to put on in a year here compared to white students or in an organization that may be predominantly white.
The best part about my PWI is the business aspect. I feel like here the business gets taken care of like very, very fast, expediently, orderly. There's no delays. You don't have to wait 2-3 days from now. It's all whatever you need done, they get it done with no hesitation. But the best part about my HBCU is that we had a close family culture there. Like the professors knew who you were, no matter what department you came from. The administrators knew you. They came out and actually found out what the students felt. They had a dear concern for us, and they showed it. And I can say that once I left there, I learned a lot of life lessons that did prepare me to transition into whatever it was I was going to do, either if it was going to go into the workforce or pursue my education in depth. I was prepared.
For me, the best part about being here at Arkansas State would have to be the diversity. That's a quality that's always been important to me, for as long as I can remember. And it's one of the immediate things that I liked about coming here is that even though it may take more effort to, I guess, get to know, the students here, the fact that it's so diverse is something that I've really liked. And because of that, I went to several events on the campus, and like Valley, the thing that I liked was I guess the sense of service is what I liked, and it was something that I saw in not only teachers but in people that weren't teachers. I can remember when it was close to my graduation, and I was having some issues in trying to make sure that I was would graduate when I was supposed to, and so. But unexpectedly, I had alumni and people who were working at Valley to really come to me, who want to really help me to make that happen.
The comparison between HBCUs and PWIs will be a never-ending comparison. We will forever compare the educational standpoint, the campus life, but as we can see that it all depends. It depends on the student, their experiences, their expectations, and the institutions in which they compare. Each HBCU is not the same, nor are PWIs the same. Students that attend these institutions do not have the same mindset or the same life experiences. So it all depends. It depends on the mindset and the goals of a student and how the student shapes their campus life and their experiences at these great institutions of higher learning.